Hi, y'all. I'm Hannah.
Hi, I'm Pam.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
Hi, I'm Ann.
Hi, I'm Marie, and we are coming to you live from Austin, Texas, because it's Happy Woolly Wednesday! Hey everybody, happy Wednesday! Wouldn't you want to come to work if you had this kind of enthusiasm in the house? Man, they're like this every day. They pack your orders with that love and sunshine and roll all the wool and everything. We are smack dab in the middle of summer, but what are we thinking about?
Fall.
Everybody here is ramping up for fall projects because we know that you are, and so we're getting into that too, and we're just so excited. But it's been hot, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Just a little.
108 earlier this week, and today I think we might be under 100. But wherever you are, just join in the fun. We're going to have a fun hour together. We're ready to get started. Are you guys
Ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for being here. Welcome to Woolly Wednesday. We are Living Felt based in Austin, Texas with beautiful friends all over the world, and hopefully you see some of them checking in right now saying hi and where they're from, so we invite you to do that too. I'm going to refresh my page. Do you see us, Ann? There we are. Okay, Ann's giving me the big thumbs up. I know it's summer holidays and lots of people are on holidays, but for everyone who is here joining us today, thank you for being here. We like to spend this hour together just hanging out and sharing tips and tricks and insights and product highlights and hearing from you as well. So I think I'm going to have Ann, would you also go to the Living Felt page and make sure just people know to come over here. So we have been doing our live Felt Along broadcasts at our business page, Living Felt, and our weekly hangouts are here in the group, at least for now. That might change sometime in the future. But let me see who's here. So Esther's in Sweden, and Maria's in Houston, and another Maria in Sweden. That's so nice. Kate in Vermont. I see Mary in Portland, and Ann in North Carolina. Deborah's here, Sharia's here. It's so nice to have you all here. Thank you for joining us for our weekly hangout. For those who are watching for the first time, we hope that you will say first or new so that our community can welcome you. This is an interactive hour, so your contributions are absolutely welcome. Ask a question, pose a comment, and just join in the conversation. Everybody who contributes something gets your name in the hat, and we give away presents at the end, so that's super, super fun. Oh, and there's Debbie Wells just down the road here in Austin. I think I drive by your house on the way home, Debbie. I think I take your street on the way home. Very nice. It's so great to have you all. I wanted to say also, if you're watching the playback, feel free to do the same thing. Chime in, ask a question, say where you're from. And we have been putting our Woolly Wednesdays on YouTube. We have a heading for that. It's just called Woolly Wednesday Live Hang. So not all of them are on there, but we're starting to post them more frequently. So Robin says, love the braces. Thank you, Robin. I am seriously adjusting, and like I said, I'm just going to try and giggle my way through all of the awkwardness. Thankfully, my beautiful husband, who's just joined the live feed, hi Rodney Jean, who's been working really hard today. He's just so supportive and just helping me make fun with it, have light with it. And at least two of the fairies here had braces in their use, so they're like my support network. So I'm just gonna get past that. Okay, yes, Ann's just giving me the thumbs up. Okay, very good. So thank you for being here, friends. And while people are still joining the feed, we've literally just started. For those of you who don't know, we are currently in the middle of a felt along for needle felting dolls. That is live on Fridays at 12:30 Central. I'm going to be doing those sessions from my home studio, so it looks just a little different. But let me see a stream of hearts for those who are on the feed right now and you are participating in the doll felt along. We have seen some amazing dolls, and in all various forms. So someone posted on the group today, they'd been away for a while and they came back and saw all these naked bodies. in the group. We did the first session creating our armatures. We needle felted the underbody with core wool and the underheads with core wool. We then had a session where we started needle felting the faces, and I brought mine here. I'm keeping it really plain while I'm trying to decide what kind of character I'm gonna make. I think I have an idea, and I might make a couple. So this is my plain little face, and all I did was finish what we started in the felt along. And I've seen some of you do the same thing. So if you're still working on your face and preparing for Friday, make sure to get your fine needles and go in and firm up those cheeks and join, you know, the cheeks and the lips all together, and just generally get everything so it has a nice bit of firmness to it and you can't pick it apart. So braces support group, Robin says. Yep, so I want to see if there's any Q&A we can do to support anyone who is working on the felt along for Friday. If we just spend just a couple of minutes on that, I'd be happy to take a couple of questions from you. And in the meantime, I'm going to heart everybody for being here.
We've got a number of our felting friends that are going to be watching that tutorial.
Karen says she was going to do a doll but bought a new whippet instead. You know, I had a friend who asked me to take a class together, and then she got a dog too, and so I started and she didn't, which is kind of funny. So a dog will take up your time, that's for sure. Yep, so I know a number of people are working on the doll felt along, and that's super, super fun. If you haven't started but you want to, the videos are on YouTube in our needle felting category. So it's just youtube.com/livingfelt, and they're also on our Facebook page, which is just fb.com/livingfelt, and there are, just click on the video section. You can just start and felt along anytime, so you don't have to felt along with us live. You can watch it anytime and post and share your dolls, and people, as they're sharing their dolls, are doing #livingfelt and #doll felt along wherever you share them. And very good. So Maria says she's going to start today, and Vicky says she loves doing the doll. Judy says, what's on the counter to your left? That left? Over there, Judy. I wanted to, I'm going to show you those things, but let me see if that's what she wanted. Stacy says the doll series is loads of fun, and Dawn says she's having trouble with the lips and the eyelids. You know what, Dawn? That is definitely something that we can help with, and maybe on the felt along on Friday we'll just revisit real fast. But you know, to show you, I don't know if showing you high level will be helpful, or maybe if we can turn down just a little bit later here and I can do some tips on that. But I would be happy to answer questions. Sonia says it looks like shredded paper, and
Judy says yes, in the basket.
oh yeah, in the basket. Oh, okay. So this in the basket, I brought in a couple of things to show y'all, to tell you a few things that are back in stock that weren't in stock previously. And so I can start here, and this is, we're working on locks, and we have lots of locks that will come online over the next month and two. And this is a beautiful, beautiful lamb Lincoln fleece. And I'll hold some of it up for you. It's so delicate, it's so light, and it's so soft. And it is, you know, shades of gray all the way to cream, which we often see with a Lincoln. And it has a little bit of sheen to it. So it's just absolutely beautiful. Probably gonna have to lay it down now. Yeah, so let me hold some up to the camera. Does that show? It's really, really sweet. It's really delicate. It's not a super tight curl, but it definitely has a lovely curl structure and would be great for beards and great for hair. And that is on the website under our natural, and I'm just going to post a link to that under our natural fibers, so you can find it there. It's really precious fleece. And then this one is a BFL, and so let me hold this up for you. This we brought in from England. I was having a challenge kind of getting a BFL with the curl structure like I liked, and that was just a nice rich chocolate brown. So we imported this from the UK, which makes it, you know, a little more on the spendy side. It's lovely and clean. It has a cute little curl structure to it, and it is a lamb fleece as well. And then it's, you know, it's a short staple length. And just to give you an idea, so we sell that in a 1/2 ounce increment. This is exactly a 1/2 ounce. So what I'm holding in my hand is exactly a 1/2 ounce. And just lovely to work with. Super, super, super cute. Now this one is not on the website yet, but it will be. It'll be at least by tomorrow this time. And it'll be in the same place under the natural fibers.
Lots of love for the locks.
Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, we do have more coming in. You know, we work with certain farms, and our volume has gotten such that when we bring in locks, they kind of get bought out, and you know, there's only so many sheep, so much fleece on a sheep, but we're gonna do our best to stock back up on some locks for you guys. So the other things I wanted to tell you that are back in stock, one is our core wool roving, and this is our CW1 core wool roving. So many of you have often bought this from us in a great big bat, and we still have that if you prefer to do wet felting with it or to lay it out as a background, or you just want the big sheets. This is the CW1 core wool bat. And then the roving comes in a big stuff sack like this, and this is an 8 ounce stuff sack. And the only, you know, difference is you're going to get it in more of a long strip, so you can just reel it out of the bag. And if you're doing 3D, this would probably be the ideal method of getting it for you in a roving. So that is back in stock too. Do we have any colors come back in stock, Ann?
We did.
What was
Midnight MC-1.
Oh, Midnight Blue. Okay, so Midnight Blue was out of stock in our MC-1 line. That is now back in stock and online. And the only other thing, and I didn't bring in with me, is the Uzbek silk, the Margalon silk. That is back in stock. So if you're nano felting, we have Margalon silk yardage available and ready for your dyeing or nano felting pleasure. Very good. Pam says she has a whole bin and not sure what to do with it all. Pam, you have a whole bin of what?
Locks.
Oh, a whole bin of locks. Locks are really great for hair if you're needle felting, beards if you're needle felting, curls on an animal, tails if you're needle felting, and if you're wet felting, then use it in your embellishment layer. Use it in the very top layer of a wet felting project. It is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful for texture when you're wet felting. Okay, good. Here's Barbara in northern Alberta. Lovely. I was gonna say, I didn't think that's that you were from. And there's Flossie in Canada. Thanks for being here, everybody. We're so glad to have you. So we wanted to tell you about those back in stocks. And then for today, what we want to do is talk about the group felting project for Felt United. And so we'll do that in just a minute. And what I brought in today is all of our earth tone colors so that we could go through them, and I wanted you to see the current family of earth tones in our MC-1 line. And so somebody tell me, if you use our MC-1 batting, just pop up here right now and tell us what is your favorite thing to use it for. Just tell us what's your favorite thing to use our MC-1 batting for. Right now the line has 20 colors in it, and some of those can get pretty close together. So what we did was we sort of broke them into stacks, and I'm going to have Ann walk you through all of the colors best she can. These are the colors that I thought seemed a little more warm, and I'll move up the camera when she talks about them. And these ones seemed a little more neutral. Some are solids, like these are some of the solids in the line. Solid, solid, solid. And some are heathered, so some are blends of they're blends. When we offer you a pack, we offer it either in 2 ounce increments or in a pack of 6 in our studio builder packs. When we do, we'll add enough variety in the pack so it doesn't feel like you have two colors that are too close together. So this is an example of two different packs in the MC-1 line. And you don't get to choose the individual colors when you buy a pack, but I just wanted to show you that we'll do our best to offer you a nice variety so that whatever you're making, it feels like you have some lights and some darks and some mediums. And if you're just kind of really not sure and you're looking at the packs online, you can call us and we can tell you what's in a current pack. If we have two different ones, we'll tell you what's in the two different ones. But you'll need to do that before you order, because those of you who have been ordering with us know once you place your order, we're going to pack it up and get it out just as fast as we can. That's what we like to do. Get stuff done and get you your felting supplies as soon as you can. Okay, so I'm going to look real fast. So Connie says 3D sculptures and structural supports, embellishments on wet felting. Pam, I'm trying to read what everyone says. So I'm going to read those, and Anne is going to talk you through the colors. And when she gets to a color, she'll show you the item on the table. Yeah, point out that's made with it. I have Kim's card right there.
Oh, okay, awesome. Hi everybody, thank you so much for being here today. We're going to walk through the MC-1 earth tones. I'm going to start over here. I'm going to start at the top of the pyramid and work down. To start off right here, we've got MC-1 linen. This is MC-1 oatmeal. This is MC-1 pecan. This is espresso bean. This one right here is cafe au lait. This is driftwood. This is vintage brown in the corner here. This right here is birch. The one right here is willow. And then this one is dark chocolate. And let's see, this little guy right here was made with the dark chocolate. Oh, and this guy right here, kangaroo, he was made with willow back here. And then this is oatmeal. His stomach is oatmeal. Perfect. All right, we're gonna start at this pyramid now. At the top here is sand. This is peachy, pale peach, clay, latte, caramel, mahogany, cinnamon brown, chimney. Oh my goodness, that is chimney. Alrighty, so this is chimney, one of our new colors. This is cinnamon brown, pumpkin spice, and this right here is chestnut. Move him over just a minute. Chestnut. So this lovely, lovely chicken was made using MC-1 sand, which is right here. We've got this lovely, lovely vessel right here, and I'm going to turn it over so that you can see more of the color. This is cinnamon brown. This was a lovely wet felting vessel. And we've got Mr. Bunny here that was made with caramel by Sarah Murphy. Do we need an up close of any colors?
That was awesome. Big round of applause for Anne. We love her. She's always the queen of naming all the colors for us. Super, super cool. So I hope that helped. I think the only earth tone color that we're out of right now is the mahogany, right? And so that may be a while coming, but hopefully chimney will be a good substitute in the meantime. Do you have any questions about the earth tones while we're all together? I just want to encourage, y'all to think about, blending colors to get the depth of the color that you're wanting if you're whether you're working on a picture or an animal. This one is cinnamon. This little hat is cinnamon, just like the vessel is cinnamon. Remember, when you're working on a project, it's a better idea to get as much fiber as you think you need for the whole project, because colors can shift from dye lot to dye lot. Now we run in pretty big batches, but there's no way for you to know when there's a change of a dye lot for us. So the best thing to do is to get enough, especially if you're going to park something for a while and not finish it. And if you do park something for a while, if you have enough fiber, set it aside and save it, because some colors are just so delicate, and a slight shift you might feel is noticeable in your project. New chimney, Cece wants the pyramid. That's so good. Love all the shades. Yeah, it's super fun to work with. Okay, do you discontinue colors very often? You know what, we don't, Devin, we don't really discontinue colors all that often. It has to really be not all that popular for us to discontinue it, but we do run out of colors from time to time. There is a very long production time for us. When we our MC-1 batting, I'll tell you, for those of you who don't know, MC-1 stands for Merino Cross. It is a Living Felt brand product. It is exclusive to us. It's made of domestic short fiber. It is so domestic to the USA. It's made in the USA. It's dyed in the USA. It's completely processed in the USA. It wet felts and it needle felts. That's why I brought in a few examples for you. You can see like what a nice smooth finish it makes and what a nice stiff wet felt it makes. And it does take us many months to do a production run. And so if we're out of a color, sometimes we're out of it for a little while, but we really do our best to stay stocked. We do.
And Mara asks, can the MC-1 be used for nano-felting?
Mara, I wouldn't recommend the MC-1 for nano-felting because it's just not your like next to the skin type of product. It's not something, I wouldn't choose it for a scarf. I might use it for a hat or slippers, but I wouldn't use it for wrist warmers or a scarf. You're gonna want finer fibers for that. I feel like I was gonna show something. Just when you're thinking of doing something, like this is a little picture I did in Danny Ives' recent class. This picture is made up of many pieces and parts from the line, and probably throwing in a couple of more in there as well. So sometimes having a broad range can allow you to get a lot of depth in a picture or even an animal by making your own little custom blends. And we touched on making wool blends last week, right? Last week we blended even just by hand and just a little bit. So don't be afraid of having a wide range. You can combine them in so many ways. Sonia says it does work great for slippers. And the Color Me, yeah, a couple of people have the Color Me Happy bundle, which is super fun, and that's almost everything that we carry. And that is like, so we have, now we're pushing 90 colors in the line, I want to say, but the Color Me Happy bundle is 80 colors, right, Anne? 80 colors, because some colors are just going to be out of rotation or out of stock for the moment, and that gives us a little bit of a buffer on that. Cool. Okay, any other questions before we move on? Okay, no, Anne says no. Okay, very cool. I want to let's talk about the project. I just posted a little promo image for it, and that is for Felt United. Felt United is an annual project. It is hosted by Nicola Brown in Ireland and my dear friend Dawn Edwards here in the United States. They are the ones who champion that project now, and every year there's a different theme. Felt makers from all over the world join in on that theme and post work on their website or their Facebook page, which you can just search Felt United, and just basically come together, unify around a theme, and further promote felt work, felting, the art of felt. You can participate all by yourself. You don't have to join in the group project, but if you'd like to, we think it would be super, super fun. And this year, we would like to do a collaboration project where everyone sends in their art, and we will make a piece of art from everything you send in. So what we are proposing, or what we're asking for in submissions, is a textural piece, because that's the theme this year, is texture. that you make a piece that is a minimum of 4 inches wide on one side and a maximum of 16 inches long on the other. So you could make something that's 4 by 16, 6 by 12, 4 by 4, 8 by 8, 8 by 10, whatever you want. They could be little or long, but we're asking for a square or a rectangle so that we can kind of put a quilt together. So that's the size and shape, and that is all in that image as a description. The second thing is, so it should be flat and it should have texture. You can needle felt it, you can wet felt it, you can nano felt it, you could do all 3, you could do 2. It doesn't matter. There's not going to be any right or wrong. But so to help us put together like a cohesive, as much as possible, you know, group project, we're asking that you choose fibers in like one color family, 2 options, one color family, so all greens, all blues, all purples and berries, or you know, something like all purples, all pinks, all reds, all oranges, you know, or stay in the hot tones. So try and pick a color family, or do something monochromatic like that and then pick one color from another family. So you could do white, black, shades of gray and pop in a bright green or a bright pink, or you could do all blues that are really close together and then pop in a purple. So try and keep it a little more unified, you know, picking one color family or one color family plus a pop of another color. And that hopefully will help us pull together a really fun, cohesive display, exhibit, maybe one or more works from it all together. So I've covered size and shape, processes, and color family. Now what we'd like you to think about is when to get it done. We would really like to have at least a week or 2 weeks to put it together. Felt United is always the first Saturday of October. This year I think that is the 7th. And so we would like to do a group exhibit on Woolly Wednesday, so a live group exhibit on October 3rd to bring us right up to that date. That means you need to get your projects to us ideally by September 15th. I think I put the mail date September 10th. So if you're in the USA, I would make that your absolute last day to mail it. Set your target for shipping your piece to us like September 1st so that you know it gets here. Put tracking on it so that you know where it is. And these pieces, this would be a permanent installation. It would be a permanent piece of artwork here, so we wouldn't be shipping them back. So participate if it interests you. I have instructions on the image. We're asking you to put a piece of paper on the back. You can pin it, sew it, iron it on, whatever, that has your name, your email address, your city, state, and country, wherever you are, so that we permanently have you attached to the back of that. And we'll do our best to put together something fabulous with all of your artwork. So
Karen asks, does it need to be a certain strength so it will hold up under weight?
well, it should hold its own weight. It should hold its own weight. So if you send us something that is very thinly nano-felted, I should be able to attach it to a substrate. We're going to put a backing up and we should be able to attach it to that. So if it needs integrity, we did a Woolly Wednesday recently, at least this year, where we gave some options for backings and adding like a support or a stiffness to the back of your piece, and we will post a link to that. I don't think it made it to YouTube, but it's definitely here in Friends, and if it's good enough, we can maybe slice out that section and go ahead and put it on YouTube. So I will definitely give that a look.
Pam asks, what about putting a business card on the back?
You can put a business card on the back as long as it has your complete information. That's all we need, but we really want it attached because we're going to be getting a number of pieces, and it would help us if we don't have to recreate something from a bigger piece of paper. If you can permanently attach it, safety pin it, sew it, whatever, that would just be a huge help, and we'd really appreciate it.
And Jenny asks, can we do all shades of gray, black, and white if we choose that?
Yes,
Mainly?
yes, that's exactly right. Yes, I think it would be fine just to pick a color family. Like if you did, 6 different shades of brown, it would look amazing. The same thing even probably with hot tones. But if you get too varied with it, you might not want to pop in that other color. it's just an idea to play with, and maybe you'll experiment with some new shapes. So yeah, good. Okay, good. Well, very exciting. I hope you will participate. I will try and post reminders. Now, for people who are a little more local, we're at least considering having a gathering on that Saturday, and maybe even making a piece together. It's going to kind of depend on our calendars, but there's a potential that we'll do a group artwork here that week, or maybe even the week prior. And if you're nearby or local, I'll let you know about that. Cool.
A couple new questions just came in about the Felt United project. Karen asks, so I can nano-felt something very lightweight and put a backing on it to stiffen it up?
Absolutely. Who asked that, Karen? Yeah, Karen. So we shared some interfacing. You can mount it, you can mount it if you want, as long as it still has your information on the back, but we shared some ways that you might iron on an interfacing or stiffener reinforcement a few Woolly Wednesdays back. But that would be great if you want a nano felt. It would be ideal if we don't have to then fix it so that it will just stick onto our substrate. We may be dealing with that already.
Fraser asks, can anyone join in, like from the UK?
Oh, Fraser, absolutely. Everybody is welcome to participate. We just need to receive the pieces in time to get them into the group project, at least for the live exhibit. But if they come late, we can add them in and they'll be here in-house. So everyone's welcome to participate, and ideally we will have everyone's piece in-house by September 15th. So you might think about that when you mail it. And doing a 2D piece and a small piece should keep it pretty lightweight as well.
And Jenny asks, can we send more than one?
Sure, Jenny, you can send more than one. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so Karen says, do we have guidelines on the website? And someone else asked, what's the size? So all of that information is in the image I shared, and it's not on the website right now, but it's on the Living Felt Facebook page. It's on this page here, and it's on my personal page, and all the guidelines and details are right in that bottom. So again, it's a 2D piece. It's got to be textural. That's the theme. So think texture, not just flat. Remember the color guidelines. The minimum inches for one side is 4 inches, and the maximum is 16 inches.
And a couple of our felting friends want to know, does it have to be 100% wool, or can non-wool items be included?
I think you can do mixed media, but to support Felt United, I would say it should be 75% wool felt. 75% wool felt, and then maybe not more than 25% other media mixed in, just to really, hug close to the theme of Felt United. That's what I think.
And a couple of folks want to know, for texture, can it be abstract, or does
Oh
it have to be a
yeah,
picture?
doesn't have to be a picture. Abstract. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want. Those are the only guidelines. We've chosen the color and the size guidelines for our group work. That is not the guidelines for them. The only guidelines for them is it's got to be felted, and it should have texture. That's it. So you're welcome to join their Facebook page, and for those of you, if you're watching the playback, you're welcome to join our Facebook page community also, which is groups/Living Felt Friends, and theirs is groups/We Felt United. Very cool. Glad I'm still. Oh, good, PETA. I hope that you will make something. That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. Well, you're welcome to send those anytime starting now, and hopefully you'll add it to your calendar or your to-do list so that you get started on it, and send them earlier rather than late. That would help us a lot, just to kind of put it together. Cool. Okay, any final questions on that topic? Ann says no. Ann's giving me the big no. Okay, so last week when we got together, one of my goals was to share just a little tip on needle felting with Angelina. Needle felting with the Angelina fiber, and also with the Nepps, because we get that request so much. And I know we've demonstrated it before, but just as a little revisit for those who are starting to work on projects or still wondering what to do with this stuff, I just want to show you how easy it is to work into your needle felting, and then see if I can answer any questions on it as well. And we'll go ahead and work in some of the Nepps. And maybe I'll just also show what Joyce showed us. Yeah. So here's what we have. Bullet, some of you who know who Bullet is, and those who don't, well, it just doesn't matter, but Bullet got covered in pumpkin spice today so that we could demonstrate a little bit with the Angelina and the Nepps. Does that all show up? Okay, so this is Angelina fiber. We sell it in little tiny packets. I think it's a 1/4 ounce, and you just get a ton. And we do that a lot with our embellishment fibers, is we offer them in small packs so that hopefully you can try a lot. This is called copper, right? Copper penny. And then these are our wool Nepps. So this is kiwi, which is a nice bright green. This is saffron, and this is olive. 3 very popular colors in just about anything we sell. And so I thought I would show you how you can work these in. And I'm just gonna park them right here, actually. And let me know. Okay.
And Jalen asks, what's at the top of the yellow needles?
Oh, I shared this a little bit in the doll felt along. I've shared it a couple of times. This is just 3 42 triangle needles rubber banded together. And I learned this from Jennifer Field, who came and taught needle felting a bird a couple of years ago, and this allows you to get 3 needles very close together, and it's really great for like doing that surface finishing and surface smoothing because they're just so close together. And so we've really only been doing this with the super fine needles, but it's just such an awesome surface attack, and it's a pretty cheap tool. All you need are the 3 needles and a rubber band, which I'm sure everybody has. Cool. All right, so let's look at the Angelina. The Angelina is a polyester fiber. It's very, very straight. And yes, you can iron it and bond it to itself. But when we're needle felting, what I like to do is just blend it into whatever fiber I'm needle felting. And so just to keep it very simple, what I would do is take a little bit of this. You can hand card it if you use hand carders. Just take a little bit of this fiber and you can kind of just blend it in. And what's going to happen is you'll have some bling and not bling. So all I'm doing is hand blending it in. Does that show fine, Ann? Ann says, yeah, okay. And then you could tack it on the surface of something, just like this. We could just needle felt it right into place. Now you're going to have areas here, I didn't blend it all the way, where it's kind of sticking off. And what you can do is decide to trim it or needle felt it down with a little fiber over the top, and I'll show you that, or even just bury it under more layers. So what this would do is just give you a little bit of bling in your project, and the wool anchors it down. You didn't have to spread it on the surface, you just kind of blended it in, and it adds just a little pizzazz to whatever you're working on. Now, if you were happy with just a very small surface area having the bling in it, you could trim these off, or if you're going to be covering the rest, you could just put your fiber right over the top of that. So Angelina says, have you cut it shorter? I'm sorry, Kate says, have you cut it shorter? Kate, you can cut it shorter, but this has not been cut. We have not cut it. This is the length that it comes, which is, you know, a few inches. I think it varies. This is a polyester, for those of you who are wondering, and it doesn't felt by itself. That's why we have to kind of anchor it down.
And Helene asks, what are we making?
Oh, we're just making, this has just been a nothing for a while, so maybe I'll turn him into either, maybe he'll become a little owl or something. Maybe he'll be an owl. So this little owl, some of you know this owl. I think we set up pictures for him in our little tutorial section, but this little owl has just a little bit of bling worked into his back as well and into his little horns. And so to work it into the horns, you do it just the same way I did with that little pad, and that's you make a pad and then you form your shapes. So this is just done the same way, but with a different color of Angelina. Okay, so then if you want to use the Nepps, I'm going to show you 2 different ways to kind of fix the Nepps on. So let's mix up a few colors here. Put these three colors together. Nepps are just little bits of felted wool that have been dyed a particular color. and they are sort of a waste product of the carding process for super fine fibers, and then we like to use them for embellishments. So if you're wet felting, you can just drop them on the surface of your wet felting, but you want to kind of spread them out. If you have them too clumpy, they don't want to felt to each other, and that's kind of the same thing here. But if you're felting them on a little guy like this, it helps to spread them out a little bit. And then you can just stretch a little tiny bit of wool, and I'm telling you, you can do something very thin. So you might take a little web, just like that, and then you can take this web and just kind of stretch it over the top of your piece. Stretch it out, and what you're going to get are little bits of, little anchoring bits right over the top of your Nepps. Now this is just one way, and I'll try and show you another way that our friend Joyce taught us.
I think Bullet got renamed to Sparkle Tater.
Sparkle Tater! I love it! The Sparkle Tater have eyes?
Yes.
Sparkle Tater. Now you can still see them, and honestly some of them would kind of want to, you know, come off. But this little tool helps. You could try, if you try and needle felt right into them, they want to stick to your needle. So instead, it helps to stretch fibers over them and then needle felt down the trapping fibers that go over the top. And they're not all going to stick, so you can stretch more over the top, or you can also try this method that Joyce Hazelrig taught us. She came, was it last summer? She came and showed us her dragon?
Yeah.
And so she does this really neat method. She's mastered it, so y'all forgive me. But she puts her Nepps kind of on the, you can put them on the piece here. So put them on the top of your wool, but then you're going to turn this piece over, right? And then you needle felt from the back. And notice I'm just kind of poking in the center and leaving these parts done. And you kind of needle felt them on through the back. They're not all going to stick, but they stick a little better. And then you could attach that over the top of your piece. And so you can still see that some are kind of sitting up on the surface, but they're grabbing a little bit more from the back. And you could go further. Just know that with Nepps, you're gonna lose some. You might lose a lot. When you're wet felting, you can stretch a hanky over the top. We learned that from Charity in our dress workshop, which I had done with cocoons actually. Yeah, you can do that. You can trap all manner of things down. So I think this is still kind of sitting on the top, and I prefer to, you could do both, but I prefer to like super anchor them down with your top sort of little spider webby. Okay.
And then going back to the Angelina, what's the minimum amount of wool that you would need to trap it down, or does it vary every time?
You're just gonna have to find your way with the Angelina. The thing about the Angelina is it's a really straight fiber. It doesn't felt. It's a little unwieldy. If you put a big clump down, it's not gonna look all that great. It's not. You can't put down a great big clump. You gotta treat it like glitter, you know, and just add a little bit of bling.
Are the Nepps sticking to the clover tool?
Oh, there's a few in there, yeah. You kind of got to just let them get in there. They're going to. The Nepps are going to go where they want, but most of them are in here. Most of them, the easier method is to trap them down with the wool over the top. That is definitely the easier method.
And Helene wants to know, what does Nepps stand for?
Nothing. That's just what it's called, like Nepps or Nibs. It doesn't, it's not an acronym. It's not. It's like bits, Nepps, bits, bobs. You know what I mean? It's just a word. It's just the word. Okay, that's all I have. That was a super quick and easy. We did the same thing around this little guy. We trimmed him around. We stretched a little bit of fiber right around this ring, and then we basically, I needle felted in between and let all the wool that I put on top kind of trap this down. I didn't even use the big pokey tool. So some of them will want to come off, but a lot of them will want to stay if you trap them over the top.
Okay, I think Bullet's new name is Sparkle Tater the Disco Potato.
Sparkle Tater the Disco Potato will have to get some features, so we'll continue to add to him as we demonstrate. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to pull this aside now. Well done?